As a lot of you guys know, I started this snack wholesale business over a year ago, and I truly believe it's a business a lot of people can do, they just don't know about. That's why I made this channel. I have, 400 subscribers now. Who would have guessed? But I wanted to kind of make a longer format video. I had a lot of people ask, and I'm not going to do edits. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just going to kind of break down some of my thoughts and kind of my journey. Because I know a lot of people want to start one, and they're kind of just scared. And pretty much the whole point of this story is to let you know, if you guys fail, you're going to just have to get over that. You're going to have to get over that ego part. Yeah, sometimes it can hurt some money, your pocketbook. Who cares? We all started with nothing anyway, so if we lose, then we're just back to where we were. So that's always my mindset. It's like, if I fail, I can always go get a new job back. Like, it's no harm, no foul in my eyes. So it's kind of my story. So I've been in the I was in distribution my whole life. I started at Coke, Pepsi, I worked at Bang, worked for a whole bunch of startups, kind of moved my way up the ladder so I understand the business. And I truly believe you need to work for people also, because you're going to learn things that are going to come in handy when you have your business. You're like, oh, get to solve that quick because I know that answer. So, and then I got a really great job. I worked for a while. I was, six-figure job. I was super blessed to have it. And I gave it all up. I ended up buying into a failed, 100% failed, not failing, businesses failed, distribution business that sold pastries. And a lot of people said that was dumb. Didn't care. It probably was dumb. But I knew I could do it, and I wanted to do it. I wanted the challenge. So I gave it a whirl, and I ran that business, and I grew it. And I kept growing it. And I started just like selling off parts of my route because it got too big. I didn't want to have a lot of employees. It wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't really what that business was developed and made for. So I just started selling off routes. And the business was really cool because it was really made for like independent distributors. Like one guy wanted to run a route. And they were great routes. I was selling them off. Each route probably netted around $100,000 for that guy. So, they were awesome. And so I started selling them off, and finally someone came up to me and wanted to buy my last one, which I love that route. I had just a great time. Grew it from nothing. I had to go and get so many accounts back because it was failed. No one wanted to deal with this product no more. So I kind of had a little soft spot in my heart for it, but I finally sold it off, and then that was the beginning of this story. It's like my wife really wanted to move to Montana to be closer to family. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make it work. So we had a house in Colorado. Couldn't sell it. The market sucked. So we rented it. Moved to Montana. I was able, pretty much every dollar that we sold those routes for went to buying some buying products for this business and our down payment to our house. And so we started out at zero again, which pushed those chips all in. It is what it is. I like when my back is against the corner, kind of gives me a challenge. So, but what I did was, when I knew I was going to move to Montana, someone's calling me. When I knew I was going to move to Montana, I just started calling anything online that looked like a distributor like me and asking like what products they have. Some people are pricks, some people are nice. And I started calling products. Like, hey, do you have a distributor in Bozeman? Do you have a distributor in Billings? I just started crossing them off. Okay, that's going to be a tough market. That's going to be a tough market. And I found where I wanted. I did pick a place that was still pretty hard. It had one of the biggest distributors in Montana, but you know what? There's enough room for everyone. So, and then you just start calling around. So once I had my area, I started calling random distributors similar to me in Montana, befriending them. And I found a guy up north, I won't name drop him, super cool dude. Really guided me a lot. Like I knew what I wanted to do, but it's nice to have someone with their feet already in the ground, successful business. And I was like, hey, what do you think of this brand? What do you think of this? And he was like, this company has it, that'd be a tough, I use this. And it kind of gave me a starting point of how I was going to develop this business. So with that ideas, we moved. We came here, we moved, and I went all in. And my wife stays home with the kids just because daycare is so much. and I was going to be successful. I was just going to try. So I just started pulling that trailer around and just started trying to open up accounts, trying to sell anything. And you're going to have those days and months where you're like, I should just get my old job back. And there was definitely those times, because for a business to grow, you have to keep investing. You got to keep putting money back into it. And it didn't help that our renter at our last place in Colorado we found out was a professional renter, and he was able to scam us out of close to $10,000. So he wasn't paying rent for like 6 months, and that state is super renter friendly, so that did not help me, and we couldn't get him out. And we finally did, and it was a blessing. But it made a little more stress on it, because I had that house payment and this house payment, and I had a business that was making $0. But I think in hindsight, it was making me push me more. Like every day I was like, I already went to 20 stores and I only got one yes. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to a couple more. Like, because I had to make money to pay those, or I was going to lose my homes. And it got stressful at points, but I think it builds character, and it just made me push and push. And then finally we got that renter out, and we finally started making money, because every time I get any money, I would have to invest in more products, because if I have all my products in all my stores, you're never growing. You're just going to sell what you have. So I had to keep growing and growing. And now we're at a point where I feel a lot better. I'm not even close. Like, I'm excited to see what you guys in the next year, where this business is going to be, and you guys get to follow me. I'm pumped about it. I have some cool things going on, but pretty much, long story short, like, that's my story. You're going to have heartaches. Business is tough, but you got to be just a tough-minded person and be able to push through it. One last thing, I met this guy in Colorado years ago, and he had a very successful business. I think he had like 100 employees. Different kind of business than this. And I asked him, why does he think he became successful? And he told me something I'll never forget. He said, I was too stupid to quit. He was like, there's so many times I should just quit, and I just couldn't. And I was just too dumb to quit. And I love that. Sometimes you just got to just do it. I think about it now. Would I have done this at the beginning? Like, looking back at it, I'm like, that was a lot of work, and it was a lot of heartache. But you know what? It was worth it. To own something and know every dollar you make is yours. Every effort is yours. Like, it's just amazing. So I think if you guys want to start something, even if it's not a snack wholesale business, tear it up, go for it, because it would be the best decision you guys ever make.